Okay guys, it's Sunday the 20th of May and we're going to look at the FTSE 100 and the Euro USD. As always, we're starting on the FTSE 100, so we'll have a quick recap of the market from last week in relation to our Sunday analysis. Then we'll move on to looking at the market for the trading week ahead in terms of day trading, and then we'll move on to the Euro USD and do the exact same thing. So with the FTSE, this huge rally continues with very little sign as yet of coming to an end. The pullbacks are very minimal, and we're basically just continuing to follow our trend channel. So last week we were looking at level of support at 7706, 7683. Monday, Tuesday, testing at the levels of support, bouncing up into our level of resistance, which was 7732, 7750. Found the resistance. Then into the Thursday, we're testing at sloping support all the way up into our key levels, which were at the all-time highs, 7800, 7780. Rejection came in on the Friday, and we found support at our 7750, 7732 level, and we had another bullish bounce. So what I'm going to do is quickly pause the video. I'm just going to get rid of all the lines that we've got on the charts, just so it looks a little bit cleaner, and then we can look at it for the week ahead. Okay guys, so what I've done is I've taken off the black lines. We've still got our zones in from last week. We're just going to adjust a couple of them for this week and have a look at expectations on each of the zones. So quickly before we get started actually, it's my mum's birthday today, so I'd just like to wish her a happy birthday. She does say she still watches these videos. Her words to try and understand what it is that I actually do. So happy birthday mum if you're watching this video. Okay, so first thing actually, let's go on to the weekly time frame. Scroll down a little bit and then zoom in. Look at the rally we've had on the FTSE. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks of continued bullish rally. It's an enormous rally. It's also after the market broke down below very key swing points. Resistance, resistance, resistance. Broke down. All signs really were that the market would find resistance and then turn into, at least short term, stronger bearish movements. And the FTSE has instead entered into the trend channel and continued to rally higher. So what we're looking for still is some sort of a break of sloping support as our clue to the correction coming into this market. Until this happens, I sound like a broken record with subscribers. We're basically looking at sloping resistance, sloping support, just going over that throughout the week. There's nothing else to do until the market gives us further evidence. So what we're going to do is this 7683 level, we're just going to adjust it ever so slightly up into 77, around about 7713. Using the most recent price action where the market spiked down and tested to give us that clue. Up above, let's just have a look at these levels quickly. This one up here also we could potentially just bring up 7732. We'll just bring it up ever so slightly up into 77 or about 7753 like this. Now, the zones the way they are sitting. Now, yeah, still pretty happy with them because the main thing is the sloping channel. Now, next week, obviously we're testing at these all-time highs. It remains a strong level of resistance. Up above, we don't have any price action. So really, we'd be looking at things like the round number, so 7900. Around about that level. Good area to look for potential resistance if we start breaking higher. Also, if it's lining up with that sloping resistance level. But up above, until we start to get more evidence, I'm always less keen to trade at these levels. I like to have a little bit of price action evidence before I start to take trades. Now, down below at our 7750 to 7730, this remains a strong level of support. From this previous key level where the market held for a number of days before we started this very strong bearish sell-off, yeah, it's a good level of support coming into next week. If we're breaking down below this level, look for the moves back down into 7712, 7682, which again is a good level of support right here. And then what I would say is this one is very key now on the FTSE. It's basically a very minor swing point that we've created, but because we've been having such a strong bullish rally, this is a key swing point in this rally. If we're breaking down below here next week, it's very likely we're breaking down below key support, also the trend channel support. Really, I'd expect a move back down into 7560 at a minimum, which would be the next key level of potential support. Down below there, 7500, 7480, again, very key level of support on this market. Breaks down below there, stronger corrections on the FTSE. Very likely back down toward our key levels of price action. Really at the 7350 levels. So, quick recap for the FTSE. All-time highs, always worthwhile looking for resistance, especially because it caused such a strong sell-off last time. Also, potentially false breaks. False breaks, clearing out stops of people who are sitting above the all-time highs looking for the sells, and then seeing the bears starting to step in. So I like to be a little bit careful at the all-time highs. Key support 7712, 7683 right here. Breaks down below that level, looking for the stronger move down. Also 7750, 7730. Strong support at present, breaks down below. Worthwhile looking for that move down into that key support level. And then down below there, we have our support and resistance zones. Really just looking at them as a little bit more minor in terms of support and resistance. I will put them in the comments section or the description section of the video just down below. And then very key support down below there at 7500, 7480. Below there, yeah, another strong sell-off on the FTSE is very, very likely. Okay guys, that's everything for this week. Let's move on to the Euro USD. Okay guys, for the Euro USD, so for this market, first of all I must have closed the chart from last week, so I've just plotted the levels back on from that video using the video levels. What we were going over was how we had broken down from very key levels of support, which we were looking for a number of weeks ago. The market was bearish, but after such a strong move down, we're a little bit more neutral in terms of the zones, because potentially we could see some sort of a pullback, so we're just sort of looking at the zones as support and resistance. So Sunday candle, Monday, we're coming straight up to test at our 1990 level, which was key resistance. Instant rejection, huge move down on the Euro USD, smashing through all of our zones, breaking or attempting to break down below the swing point. You've also had a bearish pin bar right here, giving you that potential sign of further bearish sentiment. Very strong move down. We come down, what are we doing? On Thursday, Friday, and Wednesday really. Wednesday we just break up above the zone, but Thursday, Friday, testing as resistance, rejecting, testing as resistance, and rejecting. So coming into next week, what are we now looking at? Well, first of all, we're looking at potentially starting to break down below a swing now, or at least attempting to do it. So we've had a nice move down, swing point, tested, rejection, and we're potentially starting to break through. So this level remains very good level of resistance to continue watching. So 118.15, we're just going to bring up to incorporate that little spike up we had. So 185, where are we at? 185.27. Let's make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. Yeah, worthwhile continuing to watch as resistance. Now, if we're starting to get up above here also, it's worthwhile looking at as support. Because potentially we're just starting to break up above that swing point, encouraging the bulls to try and force the market higher. 118.80, 118.95 would be the next level of potential resistance up here. Again, good to watch for that potential weakness. Now above there, the key levels of resistance are up at 120.10 to 119.90. Yeah, good level of resistance. Also this level at 119.55, 119.30. So basically the exact same levels from last week. We've been given the clues that they are reacting nicely. Strong rejection coming in. The market is holding in this zone before we see the sell-off. It's an area of interest for buyers and sellers. Now down below there, what I would say is with this swing point, potentially this candle is starting to give us the clue that we're looking to break down, but I like to see candles that are not testing into the support and resistance level. as the clue. So a candle maybe just sitting like this, where the spikes up and the spikes down, the tails, the wicks aren't reaching into the level. Just giving you a little clue that potentially the market is accepting below the level. So I usually look for in terms of breaks of especially swing points. Now down below there we have, well, first of all, let's use the recent price action. So we've got, you're looking at these candles, we've got a spike down here at 127.75 down into 117.62 right here. What I would say is, for me, this is a little bit more minor in terms of support and resistance. I really want to get into the key levels, which are, I would say, all the way down here. So we're looking at previous swings 1 and 2. Fairly significant because the market has made nice bearish movements. We've then came up, we found the support, we've tried to break down again, found the support, and then we've started this very strong bullish wave. So it's a strong level of support and resistance. Really all the way down into 117.10. Right here. Now we didn't quite reach that on the Friday, but it's only one spike down as yet on the Friday here. For me personally, this is the key level here. Now down below there we also have a section right here, which is looking like the center point of a double bottom. Very often, these are good levels to look for potential support and resistance. So a double bottom, when broken, that central point, central pivot point becomes a good area of support looking forward. Double tops, if we break down that central point, very often good resistance, looking for the bearish price action. Okay, so 116.90. Now let's have a look at this. All the way down to 116.52. Relatively large zone there. I don't really want to split it. So we're just looking at this whole flat section of price action right here. It's giving you the clue, fairly clean evidence of the area where the buyers and sellers start fighting over the market. Upper band is up here. Yeah, I want to keep that as one zone. It's a good level. Good support. Good support. If we see the market starting to come down, you know, we've had a nice strong bearish movement, we had a bounce, we've started to come down. If we're testing at these levels, yeah, once again, starting to look for the potential bullish bounces is good. Up into resistance, yeah, looking for the weakness. If we're breaking up above this level, yeah, good for the potential support. And then up above there, I'd say a little bit more minor, 118.95, 118.80 right here. Then we're getting back up into key levels, 1 and 2. If we're starting to break up above these levels, then it's potentially showing us the failure of this swing point to create further bearish sentiment, and we'd be starting to look for bullish bounces, basically pullbacks into the zone as support, pullbacks into this zone as support, potentially for that wave back up to test at these key levels, and that we have been going over. But at present, the market is still holding bearish, so key resistance, key resistance, key resistance, and we're coming into some nice levels of potential support also to look for those bullish bounces, potentially back up to test at the previous swing. Okay guys, that's everything for this week. Hope you all have a good trading week next week. As always, I hope that was helpful. I'm James Orr, and thank you.